So I got my brand new iPhone 6, as we can see here. I've got a nice clear Spigen Ultra Hybrid case for it. I wanted to preserve the looks of the device because of the fact that this is honestly my first gold device. You've got plenty of reviews out there on the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, so I'm not going to bore you on that. But I did pick up a couple of accessories for it, or at least I'd like to. This keyboard is a bat top branded, although I get the feeling it's a lot more generic than is realized. But it's just your average everyday Bluetooth keyboard, except along the top here, along the function row keys, you've got specific keys assigned to iOS. And you can, in fact, navigate VoiceOver using this Bluetooth keyboard. Now, it's completely different with the exception of the control option right and left arrows to navigate like within an application or something. Everything else is pretty different, but it takes you get used to it. Anyway, the keyboard is completely iOS friendly. You've got your home button, your brightness buttons, your search for spotlight, your keyboard show and hide, and then there's something else that's supposed to activate photos, but I bet that's probably for the iPad. It doesn't seem to be working on the iPhone. Your media controls, and on the far right, where your delete key is your lock. Now, there's an interesting little tidbit here. If you're a VoiceOver user and you have the phone in your pocket, because you can have both a keyboard and a Bluetooth headset hooked up. So if you're at the airport, for instance, you want to keep your phone out of sight, the keyboard is only $12, and a lot of Bluetooth headsets these days are like $20. So it's no great loss if something were to happen to them. But the iPhone you obviously want to protect. So iPhone's in your pocket, keyboard and headset are both hooked up to the iPhone. There is one little caveat which you must be made aware of. If you have an older iOS device that does not have Touch ID, I have found that you have to turn VoiceOver off in order to get into the in order to type in your code. So what you would do is you would turn VoiceOver off, unlock the phone, type in your code, and then turn VoiceOver back on. Of course, if you have Touch ID, then you can override that process completely. But so far, that's the only real quirk that I've found. The keyboard is extremely comfortable. If you've used a Macintosh keyboard, then you've used this. It is the exact same layout. It feels just like the one on your iMac, although on the edges, as opposed to being rounded at the back, it's a lot more angular, a lot more sharp in the design. So that's one of the things I got, was this $11 keyboard. One of the other things I'd like to get, and it's not this specific one, but I want to see about getting a stand for the iPhone and a Lightning to HDMI adapter. Now, why on earth would I want all of this? Well, it's part of an experiment because ever since I've got the iPhone 6 Plus, I have not put it down. I've used it for pretty much everything as far as my casual computing needs are concerned. And this led me to a question, which is whether or not the iPhone can replace the Macintosh. And these days, for casual, everyday web surfing, social networking kind of computing that we all do, in fact, that's the main reason I got the netbook. The Chromebook was because I figure I do a lot of my stuff I spend a lot of my time online these days. I don't really use localized apps. The iPhone has the ability to run localized apps, plus the cloud computing. Could it be used, and I stress the casual computing, part of this. Could it be used as your everyday computer? And that's part of the experiment why I'm looking into all of these accessories. Now, what the heck would I hook up this HDMI port to? The LG Chromebase. The Chromebase would serve as the desktop-oriented web browser that I would need to complete certain tasks, such as being able to select all within a group of emails in Gmail. That's something that I cannot do on iOS. And it's basically a nice big 21.5-inch version of the Chromebook that I'm talking to you on right now. So I'd be able to sit back and not have to lean in or anything, not have to worry about magnification. And the idea is that this would be both the Chrome system, a secondary Chrome system, as well as a nice big 22-inch monitor for the iPhone, and I would navigate using VoiceOver and the bat-top keyboard. Have the iPhone on the stand, HDMI port going to a lightning port connected to the iPhone, power charger going into the lightning port on the adapter, going down to the power outlet so it would be nice and charged. The HDMI port going into the LG Chromebase. And the reason I can do that is because the Chromebase has an HDMI input here on the back. And we just recently picked up a brand new printer that has the ability to cloud print from AirPrint and also is compatible with Google Cloud Print. So from what I see, that pretty much covers all the bases. And again, I stress casual computing. I'm not the kind to play like the super high intensive games. For instance, the only games that I have on my iPhone right now, the only things that are on here are Tetris. They call it Bust a Move, but I keep thinking it's supposed to be like Jawbreaker or something like that. Something along those lines. So that, Tetris I mentioned, Crazy Taxi, I've got that. Just casual everyday games. I'm not a World of Warcraft person. I might be getting into Minecraft, and they have a Pocket Minecraft for iOS that I might look into. But I honestly think that, with the iPhone handling the local applications, and I've got Skype on there, I've got FaceTime on there. Excuse me. But if you think about it, you don't need to have both VoIP apps running at the same time. In fact, they would conflict with one another. So the fact that you can't, I see as an advantage. But I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on this. What do you think? Thank you for watching. Comments are welcome, and have a nice day.